In this video, I'm unboxing a whole lot of Batman. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Now on this channel, I talk about comics. I show off, the things that I buy. I like to slow down a little bit and do reviews and really read the stuff that I buy. We talk about different things in the comic book industry. I have a series called Comics 101 where I teach newcomers, tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. I've also got a series called Why I Love, where I wax poetic about all the things I love in this comic book hobby. So if you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button, then hit that bell icon so that you're notified whenever I post new videos. Now, if you guys are not new here, then I posted a video a little while back. Basically, my daughter was born prematurely back in March, and we decided to move. We've been staying with family so that we could be closer to the hospital because she's in the hospital right now. And I got a bunch of packages that have been piling up, and piling up. And so this is another episode of attacking the backlog. But funny enough, everything in this stack, here's the stack. That's insane. But everything in this stack is Batman related. And there's a story as to why, but I'll get more into that as I open the boxes. So anyway, basically, my favorite character is Batman. And that comes as a shock to no one. Everyone who watches my channel knows Batman is my favorite. So when I started reading comic books, Tom King was the Batman writer. And I have to say, so when I started reading comic books, I went and picked up a random issue off the shelf, right? I guess it was the most recent issue. I guess it was the most recent issue at the time. And the issue that I read was Batman number 68. That was the issue that I bought. And that issue just happened to be like a kind of a side story that didn't feature Batman at all. It was Lois Lane and Catwoman frolicking around in the Fortress of Solitude with a bunch of like Superman clones that were basically like male strippers. And it was a very weird book to me. And not what I came for. What's funny is that book had a variant cover by Francisco Mattina, and I picked up the Francisco Mattina variant, which had Batman looking very menacing and just like, this was going to be the most action-packed book I read that week. And it was not. And that kind of turned me off to the Batman title. I was like, I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not going to read it. And I later picked up Batman with issue 75 because that was starting a brand new story arc called The City of Bane. And I was like, okay, I like Bane in other media. I like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. So I'll pick up this City of Bane storyline. And that storyline, I didn't like as much either. The artwork was inconsistent. I mean, it was the last 10 issues of Tom King's run. There was editorial interference. Alfred died for no reason. Like, there was just a bunch of stuff that happened with that book. It kind of left a poor taste in my mouth. When James Tynion ended up on Batman starting with issue 86, I was very, very excited about that. But as a Batman fan, I want to read everything. And people have been saying that Tom King's Batman run was very good, like universally accepted as good, up until about issue 50. So I'm like, all right, well, I've already read 75 through 85. Let me see if I can get some other issues. So you guys saw that I got a deluxe edition a while back. I got volumes 1 and volume 5, I believe, of the Tom King Rebirth deluxe books. And so I've been on a mission to try to get the rest of them. So now that we've got the preliminaries out of the way, let's go ahead and start looking in these boxes. So here we got one. It's clearly packed in like Amazon packaging. Perfect. So this is The Batman by Tom King Rebirth Deluxe Edition, Book 4. Very cool. I got this off of eBay, actually. And there's an interesting story as to why I picked these books up on eBay. So I'll get into that in just a second as we continue our unboxing spree. So these first two packages actually came from the same seller on eBay. I bought them within like 10 minutes of each other. I'm not sure why they shipped separately. I just knew they'd be combined in the same package. But anyway, let's see what we got in this one. Yeah, this is... I said it looks like Amazon packaging. This is absolutely an Amazon box. So there's that. This is probably not going to be packed the best, but it's all good. All right. Well, we got some airbags and we got newspaper kind of randomly. Okay, there's a little bit of a corner ding, but I can deal with that. That's not bad. So, this next book, oh, you guys already see it. So this is Batman by Tom King, the Rebirth Deluxe Edition, Book 2. So, if we just, look at what I have already, I've got Rebirth Volume 1, I got Rebirth Volume 2, I got Rebirth Volume 4, and then Rebirth Volume 5 are on a shelf off screen, right? But let's get into this last package. So, a pretty sizable box here from the United States Postal Service. Let's go ahead and cut into here. Shout out to the homie Eddie for sending this here. I'll tell you guys the full story in just a minute, but I do know that Eddie actually watches the videos on this channel. So shout out to you. Maybe I should have waited to say your name after I opened the box just to make sure there weren't any problems with the shipping. But what's done is done. All right. These are packed pretty well. These are packed pretty well. Can't lie about that. All right. All right. So, I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera because why not? Why get closer when you can just zoom in? So, as you can see, I got a huge stack of bubble wrapped books. And let's go ahead and get inside these. Okay, so we're just going to tape all over the place. I love that these books are packed securely, but it's so hard, like when you got all this tape on the clear bubble wrap, so you have no idea like where to actually cut. But hey, I'd rather it be like this than for someone with no packing experience to just throw my books in a box. So, all right, bunch of tape and a bunch of bubble wrap. So this, all right, so this is Batman by Tom King, the Rebirth Deluxe Edition. And this is Book 1. This is Volume 1. Volume 1's got artwork from Dave Finch and Mikkel Hanin. So there we go. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, well, Kix, you already have Volume 1. You just told me that you have Volume 1 already. What's going on? Well, this is Volume 1 right here. This is Volume 2, still in bubble wrap. This is Volume 3. And just for kicks and giggles, I got one more book. I'll show it to you in a second. So, why do I have so many copies of these books? Well, this is another Facebook Marketplace deal gone bad. Now, you guys know that I love buying comic books on Facebook. I think Facebook groups are like some of the best places to get comics, especially if you're a fan of collected editions. And the reason for that is because most Facebook groups are open really just for comic book fans. So on eBay, you run the risk of buying from someone who has no idea what the potential value of a comic is. They don't view it as anything special. It's just, some paper. And so they'll put it in an envelope, they'll put it in a box, they'll put it wherever, as long as they can mail it to you as cheaply as possible. Well, when you buy from Facebook groups, from people who also collect comic books, they know how to package things and they want to send it to you in the best conditions possible because your name in the community means a lot. If I send out a book and you receive it and we're a member of the same group and it didn't compact well, I run the risk of you putting my name on social media saying, hey, don't buy from this guy. And that's never a good look. So I buy a lot of books from Facebook Marketplace or from Facebook groups. Beyond the great shipping and great packing, you also get really good deals. You're not dealing with like eBay sharks. So I was in the Omnibus Facebook group one day and someone is like selling a bunch of Batman books. Now, I already had volume 1 and volume 5 at the time. But yeah, I really needed volumes 2, 3, and 4. And every now and then you'll come across someone in a Facebook group that's selling a set. So I happened to look, somebody's selling a bunch of books, and what they're offering is Batman Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, plus this last book, which I don't want to rip it out of the plastic right now because that would just take too much time on camera, but it's Batman Year 1, the Deluxe Edition. And he was offering all of that for $40. And I was like, dude, one of these books costs $30 on Amazon and or eBay with shipping. So I'm happy to pay $10 for each book and I'll just, sell off the duplicate or whatever. I got a YouTube channel. I give stuff away all the time. That's nothing new. So I went ahead and I placed the order, after I asked him if he would break up the set. And he was like, nah, I'm not going to break up the set. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, so he's like, I'm not breaking up the set. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. I'll find a use for the other books. I own Batman Year 1 in a couple of formats, but none of those formats are oversized. So this deluxe edition is dope. Man, these dust jackets, every dust jacket I've opened today is taking a beating. But anyway, so Batman Year 1 is Frank Miller's, masterpiece. Well, I guess you would say that most would argue that Dark Knight Returns is the masterpiece of Frank Miller Batman stories. But what I love about Year 1 is the David Mazzucchelli artwork. Like, it's unmatched. If you like Gotham Central, a lot of that style kind of comes from this. Like, it's cartoony, but not like cartoony in a bad way. It's just good. I like it. But anyway, Batman Year 1, that's the 4th book in the set. And then I also got Rebirth Book 3 and Book 2. So anyway, I buy these books on eBay, or not eBay, Facebook. And all is well. Send the guy the money through PayPal, goods and services, so we're all good. He messaged me a few days later like, hey, sorry, I got some stuff going on with family, but I'm definitely going to get these books out in the next couple of days. And I'm like, no worries, dude. Just send me the tracking number whenever you're ready. I got plenty of stuff to read. I'm not like waiting for this book to, I don't know, plan out my life or something. So I'm like, cool, that's fine. So he sends the tracking number and we're all good. I noticed there's no movement on the tracking number. Like, it just says label created, but not a big deal. My daughter is born. A bunch of stuff happened, so I'm really not thinking about this book. Out of the blue, I get a message from the homie Eddie, right? This dude, Eddie, who was also in the Facebook group. And he's like, hey, dude, like, I just got an order, but I'm pretty sure these are your books because I went back to the post and you're the one that commented and said you wanted these. And he sends me a picture and it's these books, right? So this happens. If you're somebody who sells comics, I get it. It's very easy for this to happen. I don't sell comics often, but when I do, I tend to sell a lot at a time. I'll tend to list a bunch of stuff on eBay or in one place at one time. Well, if you are selling comic books, it's very important that you stay organized because what happened was I paid $40 to get some of these Batman books, but somebody else paid like $100 to get a couple of Punisher omnibus, and unfortunately that dude didn't receive his books because he received mine. And then presumably the package that was supposed to be sent to me would have had the other dude's books in them, and we would have just swapped them out. But I don't know if it's on the fault of UPS or on the fault of the seller. To this day, that package still just says label created. UPS hasn't received the item. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on, but I ended up getting a refund of my order from the dude on Facebook. So we're all good there. And then my understanding is that Eddie also got a refund for the books that he purchased and didn't receive. And he even got some extra for all his time and trouble. The extra that he was paid went towards shipping to send me this long lost package. But in all the meantime, I thought I was just never getting that package. And so I started just buying the books myself for whatever good deals I could find on eBay. So because of this whole Facebook sales drama debacle, I ended up with duplicate books. There's worse things in the world to end up with than duplicate books. For example, I could have just been out of $40, right? But no, the dude sent me my money back. So I got my money back and I got the books that I purchased. So it's not a bad day at all, right? But I could have avoided spending the extra $40 for 2 books that I didn't exactly need. So I always want to share my experiences. I don't want to act like everything's always all good. Things happen. People make mistakes. We're all human, right? So if you're going to be ordering from a person, an individual, as opposed to a business, you do need to understand the risks that are involved. Thankfully for me, this situation resolved itself and had a happy ending. But buyer beware, it doesn't always work out that way. So I'm going to go ahead and unpack these books so I can show you guys the full haul over this Batman saga, and then we'll sign off. All right, so I actually decided to just pull out my entire Batman by Tom King collection since there's so many duplicates. So I'm going to show you what I got. So I've got Batman Rebirth Deluxe, Book 1. And then I got a second copy of Rebirth Deluxe, Book 1. This first one I had grabbed a little while back in a Facebook group. I think I paid $30 total for Volume 1 and Volume 5 together. Don't ask me why the guy didn't have 2, 3, and 4, but that's cool. So I started off with Volume 1 and Volume 5. Through this purchase, I was able to get a copy of Volume 2 on Facebook. I was getting Volume 1, 2, and 3 on Facebook. So here we go. Volume 2. And because of the mishap, I ordered another copy of Volume 2. And here we go. I got a copy of Volume 3. Very cool. And thankfully, Volume 3 was just going for a little bit more than I was willing to pay, so I hadn't bought a duplicate of this one when I found out I was getting the rest of them to arrive. So there we go. Batman Volume 3 by Tom King. This looks like it's got issue 68 in it. No, it goes up to 34. Or excuse me, 44. All right, and then this is Batman Rebirth Deluxe Volume 4. Another book that I had ended up buying separately, if I'm not mistaken. No. This came with the other thing. So I hadn't bought a duplicate of Volume 4 yet, which is great. So there we go. And then I've got Batman Rebirth Deluxe Edition, Book 5. So all in all, what these books collect, we got Batman from issue number 1 all the way up through issue 69. Now, there's been all sorts of upheavals in DC's collected editions department. It would only take 2 more books. Well, technically, 1 more book. You could do issues 70 through 85 in one final deluxe edition, those 15 issues. And then we'd be done. We'd have all of Tom King's run in an oversized format. It doesn't seem like DC is going to do that, though. For some reason, DC is not soliciting any more Tom King deluxe editions. They did deluxe edition by Tom King and Lee Weeks, which collected a bunch of stuff that was already in some of these books, and the random Batman and Looney Tunes mashup. I think it was Batman and Elmer Fudd special. But I mean, we just need Batman Volume 6. Like, Just put it out. And like I said, volume 2 in this series collects 16 issues or 15 issues. So they could do the same thing with volume 6, make it a thicker volume, and boom, we're done with Tom King in the deluxe format. But for some reason, they're not going to do it. Or it doesn't seem like they are. So, whatever. I wanted to have Tom King's Batman run, and the stuff that's not collected, I can find in other formats. I actually have a full run of single issues, starting with issue 75. So I just need to find 4 more issues, and I'll have all of Tom King's Batman run in one format or another. But here we go. This is the Batman by Tom King haul, and just as an added bonus, we got this Batman Year 1 Deluxe Edition. So overall, this was a huge Batman haul, and I'm excited about it. Let me do it like this so people can't see exactly what it is on the thumbnail. Yeah. Oh, wait. I gotta do the shocked face. People look so crazy doing these shocked faces on YouTube, but it works. It works. When I do those weird faces, people actually watch the videos more. It's scientifically proven. So, I gotta make scientific weird faces. So anyway, I hope you saw something you liked in this video. I hope you took away a lesson about buying things on Facebook. Just understand that if you're going to play in that game, sometimes you might get burned a little bit, but that's all a part of the fun of collecting. So, hope you saw something you liked in this video, and if not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy, and be nice to others, because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.